This podcast may contain views and opinions which are those of the hosts and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of any local agency, organization, union, employee, or company, including the podcast.
Welcome back, boys and girls. How's that, boys and girls? You guys cool with boys and girls? I don't know.
I feel like it was definitely weird.
Was it?
A little bit.
Whatever. Welcome back, boys and girls. Thank you guys for tuning in. Just me and George today hanging out.
You know what that means.
Got some topics we wanted to discuss.
Yes, we do.
Like I said, thank you guys for tuning in every week. We always kind of say that, and we do appreciate it.
We definitely appreciate it.
We would even more appreciate if you guys would hit that little subscribe button on your YouTube channel there.
Mm.
And then, it'll be
Like.
there forever. Even if you don't watch every week, which we want you to,
And then comment.
you're subscribed.
And the crazy thing is, in the comment, you don't even have to write a bunch of shit. You can just leave an emoji or something in there. All that stuff really helps the algorithm for
Some asterisks.
more people to find us.
Some F asterisks and then Sabas.
You could put the little poop emoji.
Yeah, that's cool. Say the show was shit.
It was shit.
But really, we do appreciate you guys tuning in every week, and we thank you guys for that. Follow us on Instagram. That would be cool. Maybe
Definitely follow us on Instagram. We're working towards. We got some feedback already about people wanting to possibly get a Teamster tattoo. So we'll talk about it again at the end.
we got a couple giveaways that we want to do.
We got some giveaways in mind. One of them was a Teamster tattoo giveaway.
And a bottle filled with some
And a
sort
bottle-
of substance
A bottle filled with nothing.
that may or may not be a beer that was brewed.
It's definitely not that.
Oh, no, yeah, it's definitely not a beer.
It's definitely
was
not that.
brewed
It's a bottle.
for Off the Clock Shop
We're
Talk.
giving away a bottle with the new label on it. That's it.
Just shits and giggles.
For fun.
Yeah. So, you know what? Let's do that. Let's just do a giveaway right now.
Okay.
I'm cool with that.
we can do
So
a giveaway
if you
right
would
now.
like a bottle with a label on it filled with air, why don't you throw a comment on our Instagram?
Oh, it should say bottoms up.
Bottoms up?
Yeah.
All right, comment bottoms up.
Mhm.
Okay, that'll work.
Yeah.
Comment bottoms up on the Instagram,
Yeah, on Instagram.
OCST.952 on Instagram, right? Or is it underscore?
No.
It's dot, right?
Dot. Yeah. You got it right. You got it right.
OCST.952
Mhm.
on Instagram. Check us out. We do some updates on there. Last week, we had a little bit of a technical difficulty. So, information about the show, upcoming events, stuff where, we are...
Yeah, for those of you that didn't catch last week's episode, definitely check it out. It's mainly the Smart and Final Rally. A lot of good content there. So if you haven't watched it, you should definitely go back and check that out. It's pretty good.
And I guess let's get into our first topic,
Let's do it.
George.
So GM Ford has a line of autonomous vehicles, it's called Cruise Origin. And it's a robo-taxi.
Robotaxi.
It's a robo-taxi is what
Don't
it
they?
is.
And sorry, I'm not trying to cut you off, but
Mm-hmm.
don't they already have robotaxis in San Francisco?
I
believe, right?
Yeah, there's one's Waymo, one's Cruise Origin, and then another one it's a company I'd never heard of. So there's 3 right now that are circulating in Seattle, San Francisco, Austin, Texas, Arizona.
From what I hear, they have a shit ton of problems with them.
They do have a lot. So
Accidents
it's a
and whatnot.
fully autonomous vehicle. It has no steering wheel, no gas pedal, 100% self-sustaining. So GM Ford was asking the National Highway Safety Administration to basically waive. So GM Motors was basically, they were looking for an exemption, right, from the Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standards. Right? Because apparently they have a lot of issues. There was one incident, I believe that one was in San Francisco, where a vehicle interfered with, hit a fire truck.
Oh, shit.
And because it hit that fire truck, some delays happened, and a pedestrian died. So they were not sure if they were linking it to whether or not that was the cruise's fault. I believe that's still ongoing. I don't know as of the reporting.
I'm sure the tech companies will cover it up.
Probably,
Yeah, a lot of
but
money.
I mean, How shitty would you feel if you were the guy in the cruise, you hit a fire truck, and then later you find out the person that they were trying to help died? I feel pretty shitty because I'm sure that trip to Chipotle didn't do you any good.
I mean, it just sucks all around. Like, it sucks for that guy because he didn't do anything. He wasn't driving the car.
If anything, maybe he was a guy who had been at the bar and he's just looking for a way home, and he's trying out this new innovative tech. You know, I don't know what the deal is. But I just want to read something that Sean O'Brien commented on. So let's see here. So Sean O'Brien said, "It is dangerous for other motorists, for pedestrians, for middle-class jobs, for crews to make a request like this from the NHTSA. We already have too many examples of the chaos these vehicles cause in our communities. To allow this company to expand its fleet to put even more advanced," and he put that in quotes, "driverless cars on the road would be catastrophic for everyone."
And I mean, what are your thoughts, really? Like,
I'm not okay. So I mean, look, we're running a podcast. There's a lot of tech involved just in this. I'm not against tech. I do have an issue with tech when it removes people from the labor movement and replaces it with robotics. You know.
yeah.
I mean, that's we've talked about this numerous times on the show, and that's kind of like how those things happen. Like the Industrial Revolution, all this stuff replaces people. Like, there's always a shift, like a dynamic change.
A major shift in the labor movement, for sure. For us, it definitely impacts the labor movement altogether. And that's something that, in all reality, I think it's something that people that maybe aren't involved in the labor movement, or that just don't understand what exactly the labor movement's doing for the middle class, for workers. It really might not affect them. Like, you would think, like, oh, well, who doesn't want a self-driving car? I mean, we've had the Tesla's been self-driving, the Model S, right?
But even Tesla recommends that somebody still sit in the driver's seat and you have a hand on the wheel.
Yeah, for sure.
Because even they're like, yeah, it's not perfect.
Yeah, at least they're willing to admit that as a tech.
Dude was on his laptop, not even paying attention, just.
I've seen that one video of the guy sleeping. I don't know if you've seen that one. He's literally laid out, freaking sleeping.
Bro, there's way too much faith into something that's not ready yet. Like, don't get me wrong, it will drive automatically. It's not perfect, you know?
And then at the end of the day, I'm not sure the laws on self-driving cars. If there's no operator, like these cruise things, like, what are who's responsible? That's
also part of the thing, is there's not a laws that they're having to create laws for these, because there's no laws for self-driving cars, really. So as the technology comes out, they have to create laws.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of boggles my mind, like, who would be responsible in a serious accident involving one of these self-driving cars? Like, I believe in a Tesla, you're still liable.
You're still liable.
Because they've told you sit behind the wheel.
You have to sit there. Somebody has to sit behind the wheel. Somebody has to have their hand on it. You know?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. So, I mean, I don't know. It just, for me, like, I get everyone would want, like, who wouldn't want to be able to be like, hey, I had a couple too many at the bar and I need to jump in my car.
So here's the question, though. So let's say that's the thing. If it's an autonomous mode, right, and you drive home, and for some reason the cop still decides to, like, pull you over, I mean, but he can't, because, like, the autonomous vehicle doesn't drive you home, right? Because he follow you all the way home. So then you get arrested for avoiding the police, like, being in the car while intoxicated. Because technically the whole thing was like, oh, your car's running and you have the keys on you.
Yeah.
You know, like,
that used to
be a thing, right? Like, because some guys would just sit in their car and sleep it off, but
still get a DUI, yeah.
You know,
it's kind of weird.
So where's the there's a lot of gray area
That's
there.
funny. What happens if you get in a car and tell it where to go, and then the cops try to pull you over? Can they pull you over? Does the car pull over?
You know what? That's a good question. I want to assume no, because it has a directive. But then who knows? Maybe there's a directive there for emergency response.
Well, obviously not if it's hitting fire trucks.
That's also true, right?
And I've actually
heard you have the right of way, guy.
I've actually heard of them not only the accidents with fire trucks, like you brought up, but blocking emergency responders, just not getting out of the way, not pulling over.
Also, this is kind of funny because it got involved, like, it interfered with, like, labor jobs, like some construction workers. It ran right into some wet cement.
Really?
And it got stuck there. In Austin, there hasn't been any fatalities or anything, but there's still...
That we know of.
As the last time I looked, there was no fatalities yet, but there's crashes, there's wrong turns, so it's turning incorrectly, and then just overall, like, the city of Austin, they don't like it. And you know they're red over there, right? So it's like...
Not Austin.
Not Austin's Austin blue?
Yeah.
Completely. Well, then if it's pissing off the people that are blue, then they're doing something wrong.
Well, I mean, we'll get into that politic discussion a little bit later. But just, I mean, sticking on the autonomous vehicles, I don't know. I think, in all honesty, the convenience of it is good, right? But I still would feel kind of sketchy, vulnerable, getting in a vehicle that I have zero control of, that's going 80 miles an hour down the freeway.
Here's the thing: is like, hacking has never been bigger than it is now. I mean, look.
Shit.
I mean, think about what's going on in GM and stuff in Vegas. Like, that's one of the biggest casinos like in Las Vegas. And they have like
major security
with huge security, and people, they just hack that shit and they're just like,
We're gonna turn your shit off.
do whatever you want. Just imagine if someone's got an issue with you, and it's super personal. Your car could just...
Hackers just got a new idea, a new target.
I wouldn't say it's new. I actually saw that in a movie.
But they got a new target.
But they have new target. Yeah, it's like, I don't know.
And then you're not just if you look at it, dude, you're not just talking about turning off some gambling machines, stopping people from making money. You're talking about lives. Imagine if they just shut it off all at once, then all these cars crash. I mean, it sounds ridiculous. It sounds absolutely ridiculous, but
Yeah, it sounds like the bad plot to a sci-fi film.
It could happen.
It's 100% possible.
They could shut down all the navigation, and just all of a sudden you just crash with no steering wheel. You can't grab anything.
Yeah. Or just power down stuff, like, even while it's on the road. That would cause accidents. That would cause tons of accidents.
that's nuts.
It's wild. You know, I don't know. I see room for growth, and I see the convenience in it, but it's just, there's so much there that, like, I feel like a person, regardless of whether, I don't know, because the whole thing, I feel like most of it's directed towards people that are intoxicated, right? That's one of the reasons that, like, they want autonomous vehicles. Intoxication. Plus, also,
is it?
I don't know. I feel like that'd be...
I mean, it's definitely a factor. Like, I would say in reality, I think it's actually like a scapegoat for bringing in the technology that might be unsafe. They're like, well, here's this more unsafe act that we're going to help. You know what I mean?
But there's already services for that. We have Uber and Lyft.
Yeah.
Like, you get a human to drive you home safely, and it costs you a very nominal fee. So people are like, okay, let's do that.
It really is just a way for technology companies to make money through robots and machines and cut out paying people. I mean, what they have to.
You don't got to pay a robot pension. You don't got to pay a robot health benefits. You know, none of that. They don't even get a wage.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so for the profit margin there.
How long before AI demands wages?
That's true. It's always learning, right?
AI strikes.
That's like some iRobot shit.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, they are, like you said, constantly learning. At the end of the day, they're going to be like, well, we're not going to give you our services anymore. You're not allowed to use our AI technologies unless you pay us. I mean, what do they need money for?
They make good money.
Yeah, they could probably just print it. Yeah, I don't know. But it's just, there's so many factors in it that seem unsafe to me. and you take in account the factor of the jobs that it costs and the safety factors. You take all that into account, and it just seems not worth it for the convenience, because it is convenient. Who doesn't? Like I said, who doesn't want to fucking jump in a car?
Like I said, I totally get the convenience.
Especially if it's your car. Now, taxis, that's it. In my mind, that's just like fucking ridiculous. Like you could get an Uber and somebody could drive you. Taxi wise, like I could see in your own car, like wanting like a autonomous car that just home, boop, and then you pass out in the driver's seat and wake up in your driveway at 7 a.m. with a hangover. You know what I mean? I can see that, but the Uber thing, or I mean the cruise thing with the taxis, that just seems weird. It's like, well, why would you want to do that? You just want to just cut out jobs? Yeah. I can see it in your own car that there's some convenience there for sure.
Yeah, there's definitely convenience there for sure.
No, I do think that the bad outweighs the good in this scenario. There's just so much that goes into it, like you said, we're changing laws. The whole thing with the emergency vehicles, and I'm sure that they can figure that out eventually.
Well, here's the thing: is at what point do we make the emergency vehicles autonomous?
Whoa.
Robot firefighters,
Emergency responders, like they're autonomous.
Have you seen the robot security guards?
Well, I mean, they already have robot like police, like I believe in China,
Really?
and drones.
The drones is fucking scary.
But have you seen the robot security guards?
No.
So we were in, where were we in? Washington. We were at Panel. We were in Washington, and we stayed at this hotel. It wasn't even a nice hotel. That's the crazy part.
Just a regular
hotel. And they had a robot security guard, and it roamed the parking lot all night. It was like a little thing that was 4 feet high, had cameras on all angles.
So did it look more like a droid from Star Wars?
Yeah, it did. It looked like R2-D2, and it would bark out commands. It would be like, "Oh, you can't park there," like for real.
That's fucking
It was weird.
So what happens when someone like confronts it with violence?
I don't know. Maybe it just sets off an alarm for now.
Right, there's a little door open and a fucking Gatling gun comes out.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like I said, like
For now, it just might set off an alarm, but how long before they get to that where they're like, okay, well, we can trust this technology.
I believe in China, they have like fucking, I'll put an image up. I'm almost positive they have these there. That they have robots that are human or semi, but can put out lethal force.
Fucking Boston Dynamics, dude.
That's Boss Town.
It's Boss Town?
You ever seen that video where the fucking it's a play on Boston Dynamics?
No.
But I believe it was done by Corridor Crew, and it's Boss like BOSS and then Town.
Boss Town?
Dude, it's such a good video. I'll send you the link.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's crazy to see how far they've come. It's crazy in our lifetime, and it's something that kind of we talked about off camera. It's crazy in our lifetime how technology is just boomed. I mean, I personally am 39 years old. Like I came from a generation where we were talking about it. I had a pager. I didn't even have a damn cell phone. I
didn't have a cell phone until I was 18 years old.
I think I was 18 or 19.
And it was a flip phone.
Yeah. I think I had a brick phone first.
I had a flip phone first, and then I got one of those Nokias, the fucking indestructible ones.
Oh, yeah.
3390s. It's the one that has Snake on it.
Had what?
It's the one that has Snake on it.
Snake?
Yeah, the game Snake.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And then you could it was like indestructible, that fucking phone. You could fucking kick it around, play hacky sack with it.
But I mean, we all, if you're old enough, you remember the time when not every household had, well, nobody had internet first. And then I remember dial-up internet came in. Beep, 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 beep. That, right? And then, I guess the more wealthy people in your neighborhood would have a computer, or tech savvy people or whatever, and then we went into that generation, and that internet got a little faster. The T1 and the T2, you remember those, the connections? And then we used to to steal music off Napster.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. Remember Napster? And LimeWire. And
I like LimeWire so much.
yeah, we had Napster, LimeWire. All those things are gone now. They don't like us owning stuff like that. I mean, movies. We would steal movies. We burn DVDs, CDs.
No pirate stuff. It's not cool.
Yeah, it's not cool. We're just saying. We're just
Bringing
bringing
up
up
the
the
Well, the
past.
thing is, like, we didn't really know that then. That's what it was. That's what it was called. We didn't realize.
Stealing.
We didn't realize that it was actually impacting in a negative way, to that industry. So they weren't seeing profit from their labor.
Yeah. Well, it would. I mean, and it was kind of the downfall. I wouldn't say the downfall. I mean, music and art hasn't gone away, right?
Yeah.
But it started this whole kind of generation now where, I mean, we don't own music anymore.
No.
How many people have CDs that they own that they could listen to anytime? If your internet's down, your Spotify's not working, or you know what I mean? Do you have music?
I think I may have like 4 CDs somewhere.
Yeah, I think I have some CDs, but do you have a player? You know what I mean?
I do.
Cars don't even come with CD players anymore.
My truck has a CD player, and I believe
You're dating your truck.
I think my PlayStation still plays CD. I don't even know if my PlayStation plays CDs, to be honest.
Yeah, it's gonna. You're gonna put it in. It's gonna break.
It's gonna blow up.
It's gone.
What is this?
Yeah, seriously. What is this antiquated technology? No, it's just bringing us into a new time that it is going to affect the labor movement, and we want to get to the point where we don't rush stuff. Safety is a huge thing, but not only that, the faster we go with technology, like the faster it's implemented and not checked and kind of just, I wouldn't say slowed, but controlled, right? Control the way we release things and the way we do things. That is really what helps the labor movement, helps the generations keep up when it gets dumped on us, and it's just like everything's going to be autonomous vehicles. That is huge for the labor movement. Truck driving is one of the biggest industries in the country for workers. You know what I mean? For blue collar workers that still make a decent wage. Now they've done their best to destroy that too. I mean, look at the trucking industry. It's kind of,
So just
got
imagine
demolished.
having. I mean, how much of those trucks with the payload? They're like over 80 tons, right? Or are they more than that?
So the max is 80 tons. The max is 80 tons.
Is that with the payload?
Yeah. Yes.
So it could be up to 80 tons.
Up to 80 tons. So, yeah, I mean that definitely.
But
Scares me.
imagine driving around a 40 ton, that's 80,000 pounds of fucking hard steel, right? And it's going 65 miles an hour. And let's say the truck doesn't recognize, like, I don't know, maybe they did some construction recently, and you know how they cut out the lines? It doesn't recognize that, so when you're trying to merge on, it's still just going straight.
And how do they do that? Especially, you bring up a good point. How does the technology gauge where it's supposed to be if there's no lines? Does it use the lines? I'm not sure.
It actually, I know for a fact that at least the tech used to, I think 2 years ago, because Tesla kept putting out, like, they were trying to find flaws in their systems. They would send out, like challenges to help us crack this. Like, if you can trick the system into making an error, you get like a bonus, or you get like some type of amount of money. And one guy, like, what he did was he took lines, right? He basically like duct taped lines down, and then he split one. And there was a malfunction.
Really
Yeah.
interesting, because they especially when they're doing construction.
Yeah, that's a big deal, man.
There's an area by my house right now that I don't know what line is what. I mean, they still.
Well, I
have,
mean, they've been working
you can
on that
still
for
see the
like
old
30
lines,
years.
You can see the new lines. You can see all the lines.
There's lines on
So
lines.
You just pick the line that you go, and you just try not to crash.
Yeah.
But to your point, I mean, I know that they use LiDAR.
Yeah, LiDAR is part of it, for sure.
But I mean, I've heard that's failed, especially with pedestrians. They've had a big issue with that. Pedestrians at night.
Yeah.
There was, I remember a couple years back, and this was towards the beginning of autonomous vehicles, but they had that one homeless woman that got run over. The LiDAR just failed and didn't
That's so
pick her
sad.
up, and
That's sad.
boom, that was it, dude.
As if her life wasn't bad enough already.
Yeah, it kind of sucks.
It's horrible.
But like I said, I mean, the technology is coming, whether we like it or not. We just got to do a better job of safety, implementation, the speed of that implementation.
Yeah.
We got to do a better job. We can't just jump into
We
technology.
can't just jump right into tech. No,
It's too much, too fast. That's my opinion.
because they throw it out there, and they throw out like half-ass projects, right? So it's like,
Like the
they see-
bendable iPhone. Remember that?
yeah, they see some success, right? And they're like, oh, we'll just release it to the public, and then there's all these issues. Like, oh, okay, well that will fix it. And it's like that's something that needs like tons of research. They shouldn't be implementing that till like generation 3, so that way they don't run into issues.
Yeah, and it's tough. I mean, I get that there's a lot of money there, and
There's a lot. Yeah, I get that.
there's incentive
that.
for people to do stupid things.
I get that, but here's the biggest issues, like we've mentioned before, is that lives are at stake. So you can't just be throwing that out into the ether.
Physical lives, financial lives, which are kind of one and the same sometimes. It just kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, which kind of brings us into our next topic, which we're going to cover a little bit. We'll talk a little bit about it this week, and then we'll jump into it next week.
Yeah,
But that's
we'll dive deep next week.
AB 316.
All right.
Regard to autonomous vehicles. So AB 316, if you guys don't know, was an assembly bill put forth by California, backed by labor. So definitely backed by the Teamsters.
Yep.
Backed by labor, and it was in regard to, I would say, commercial vehicles. I guess you could probably throw like RVs in there or something, but
I guess
it really has to
recreational,
do with commercial vehicles, and the way it delineated was by weight.
Wait.
So any vehicle over 10,000 pounds, right? So any vehicle over 10,000 pounds, we were trying to get basically a safety. It's like a safety bill where they have to have somebody behind the wheel,
Yeah.
whether they're autonomous or not, right? But you have to have somebody behind the wheel to, I guess,
To drive the vehicle. Yeah.
well, at least to monitor,
Yeah.
right? So
Monitor minimum. Yeah.
it was a bill that, like I said, was backed by labor, and the bill went through the House and the Senate, great, and then got vetoed.
It got vetoed.
But a little bit more about the bill. So vehicles over 10,000 pounds, obviously we talked about up to 80,000 pounds is what a commercial vehicle can weigh on the roads. That's like the weight limit.
That's also the weight limit with a trailer and all the load. So
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it really wouldn't affect like what we were talking about, the convenience portion of things.
No.
So this is where I kind of tie in what we were talking about earlier with your personal vehicle. Yes, the convenience is there. I would say leave all commercial vehicles out of autonomous, vehicle practices, whatever you want to call them. That way it doesn't affect lives, for the most part. If you're driving your own vehicle and it's autonomous, you're going to be sitting in the driver's seat at least, you can let it drive for you or whatever.
Yeah.
But that being said, it keeps that convenience portion without affecting too much negatively on the lives aspect. Vehicle over 10,000 pounds crashes. It's a lot different than a vehicle, your personal vehicle that
Yeah.
may weigh 2,000 to 6,000 pounds.
Yeah. 10,000 plus versus 2 to 3
Yeah.
or 4. I guess.
Yeah. You know what I mean? For your average car.
Your average car.
It affects a lot. And it looks like it got vetoed for money. I wish there was a better.
I really wish there was a better
answer,
reason.
but it looks like it got vetoed because of money. So, like I said, we'll kind of delve into this a little bit more next week. I hope you guys don't mind, but we're playing with the format of the show a little bit. We're gonna do some shorter episodes this week and next. See how you guys like it.
Yeah.
So this will
let us
be-
know if you guys like the shorter format.
Yeah, this will be part 1 of our autonomous vehicle discussion.
Yeah.
Right. So we will go ahead and end the show on that note. Thank you guys for tuning in every week. Like I said, this autonomous vehicle thing, it affects all of us. So it's something that we all need to be paying attention
That
to.
also would impact not just the drivers, but that also would impact warehouse, wouldn't it? If payloads don't make it, so they crash or something, or
it would affect everything.
that affects everything, right? Not just literally not just the truck drivers. That would affect the whole industry.
Traffic, everything.
Yeah.
So, like I said, hope you guys like the new format. You know, let us know, I should say.
Yeah, let
if
us
you guys
know.
like the new format. We hope you like it, but either way, we wanted to cut the segments down a little bit. We know that people's attention spans aren't as long.
Some people like a short show. I'm a personal fan of long form content.
I do like long form content for sure. But we want more viewers. We want people to be more active. So
We want more members to view this. So if it's easier to consume a shorter show, then
so be it.
let us know so we can make them shorter so you guys consume them better.
But thanks. Please like, share, subscribe. Check us out on Instagram, OCST.952.
Definitely follow us on Instagram. Also on Instagram or in the comments, or even email us at ocst.000@gmail.com. Let us know whether or not you are in for a tattoo giveaway. So we're basically trying to see if there's enough want out there for a tattoo giveaway. So hit us up.
And don't forget about our giveaway. We will put up an official post for the bottles full of nothing.
They have a cool label.
They got a cool label. If you would like a bottle,
To put up on
bottoms
your
up.
shelf.
Bottoms up. The key word is bottoms up. Comment bottoms up. We're going to give away, 3 or 4 of those. So
Yeah, we haven't decided on a number yet, so we'll figure that out.
a couple winners, hopefully. Oh, real quick, I wanted to give a shout out to Victor Mineros, friend of the show. He's been on the show a couple times. Look, I'm not shouting it out because it's a political thing, but he got a white ballot. So he is reelected for Local 396 as a Secretary Treasurer.
It's fucking awesome.
Congratulations to you, buddy.
Congratulations, Big Vic.
But thank you guys, and we'll see you next week.